What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be wrapping up the go-kart and getting all the little things done so it's ready for paint. If you haven't watched the last video, here's an update. We got all of the wiring done, lights are hooked up, got this windshield wiper on, roof mounted, awesome LED bar. We also got those cool brake lights mounted. And what's left on the go-kart? These two seats. That's the first thing we're going to fix. We got to tidy up all that wiring down there and a couple other little things. And we'll be ready for paint or maybe even powder coating. So let's get started. Guys, so I just cut the vinyl and I put it on the seat and it took me about 2 hours, and this is as far as I got. I basically put it around the back and I stapled it, and then I stapled it around the bottom. And I gotta try and pull it tight to get rid of these wrinkles. And that is the best that I could do to get rid of those wrinkles. And I got these buttons in here, and I actually have some of this steel wire, and that's on the back of here. And it basically comes through, and then I wrapped it around the screw so it doesn't move. Alright guys, so we got both of the seats reupholstered. On one of them, I already got the whole back done, so I just put the vinyl over top to cover everything up. So it is looking really nice. Alright, so here is the heat shield. I bent all the corners up, so now I'm going to do is weld each corner at the joint, and then we'll put it on. Like a glove. Perfect. Alright guys, so we got the front of the go-kart all put together pretty much with cardboard. So what we're going to do now is trace all these pieces out on steel, and then we will cut them out and then weld this whole front together, and we'll be able to just bolt this whole thing on, or we can take it off when we need. And now we are going to cut out this little square here for the floor, which goes underneath the seats right here, and we're going to put it right underneath and weld it up. All right, there we go. We got one of the seat belts in. So we got our safety in, and now we're gonna continue and tidy up the wiring. So all of the wiring is all in this wire loom. I got a bunch of slack here, so just made a loop. It goes up. There's a bunch of connections there, and then it goes here, and then I got a smaller wire which we're going to tuck underneath. For now, I just left it on top. Now what we got to do is we got to weld a battery box, and then grind down this weld on the roof as well. Alright, so I got a hook on this side and one on this side as well. So we're going to put the battery in and see how well it fits. It's nice and snug, not going to go anywhere. So now what we're going to do is just put a weld along the box here and connect it to the frame. So this little charging port actually came on the motorcycle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount it right behind here so it lines up perfectly with that hole. And how I plan on doing that, I got some of this Velcro here. So I'm going to put a piece on there, and then I got this little plate. I just got to bend the other corner towards me. And then that can go on top, and I will weld the metal plate on there, and then this little charger can stick on right underneath. guys, so I just went shopping and got a bunch of parts. What you see here, I believe, is everything I'm gonna need to finish the go-kart. First off, I got a paint sprayer because we're gonna end up painting the go-kart. And then I got some high heat paint for the exhaust pipes because they are rusty. And one of them has a big dent, so I got some JB Weld, which we are gonna use to fill the hole. And then right here, I got some undercoating. We're going to spray this on the bottom of the go-kart. And then I got 3 cans of that. I got truck bed coating. This is going to go on the floor to make it less slippery. I got some sandpaper in case we need to sand some stuff down. And then over here, I got some exhaust wrap because what's happening is the engine's getting pretty hot being back there behind the seats, and usually on a motorcycle it's at the front, so there's lots of airflow. So I got some exhaust wraps. This should help contain the heat. I got some clamps for that. I got some reinforced body filler. This is for like all the welds on the front face. I just want to make it look a little more smooth, so we're gonna fill those in with some body filler. And then I got some glazing putty, which we're gonna put over top of that. Gloves. We got some plastic spreading tools, whatever you call those. And then also, to help with the heat, I ended up buying a radiator fan. I got this off of Amazon, and we're gonna mount this right above the engine, and it's gonna help suck the heat off of it because it is getting a little bit too hot. So we're gonna end up mounting that on there. And then you can't see the box right here, but this is all the paint that I'm gonna be using on the go-kart. And then we got this jug right here, which is super clean, so we'll use it to clean the go-kart. We got a bunch of other stuff, lots of paints, hardeners. So for this project, it's gonna be really interesting. This is my first time using like professional paint, not just spray cans. Why I'm using I'm using spray cans for the bottom of the go-kart, just because I don't need to use this really nice paint for the bottom because you're not gonna be looking at it anyways. But the paint I'm using here is, I believe it's called polyurethane paint. It's what you use on cars. Just this box right here was almost $600, so it should come out as a really nice paint job. Anyways, these are the parts we got. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna take this fan, mount it into the go-kart. All right, there we go. We got the 2 rods on there. Now what we're gonna do is just cut some little pieces of steel for the ends so we can weld it onto the frame. All right, so I got these little feet welded on here. So now I'm gonna put the screws back into the fan, and then we're gonna put this whole thing into the go-kart right up here, and then we're gonna weld it up there, and then 2 underneath. Alright, so I just made these 2 little brackets here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bolt through like this, and then we are going to weld this bracket onto the jack shaft mount, and then put the bolt right through the exhaust like that, and then we can lift up the exhaust a little so it's tighter, and then it's going to be just like that, so it can help support this so it's not shaking around. Alright, so I got the exhaust mounted up to the frame or to that jack shaft bar, whatever you want to call it. And now, as you can see, the exhaust pipe is now one with the frame. It does not wiggle at all. And I can also trim some of the excess off at some point. Next, we're going to fill this dent with some JB Weld. So we're going to go ahead and fill that. And I believe that is the last step. And then we are ready to disassemble this whole entire thing, prime it, and paint it. Alright, so the JB Weld has dried, and as soon as we're ready to paint, we'll just sand that down and then we can paint the whole muffler. Alright guys, so the go-kart is basically done. Next, we are ready for paint, so that's the end of today's video. The next video, we're going to be painting it with this professional paint. I've never used it before, but it should be pretty awesome. And then the video after that, we're going to do this like super cool short film thing, which would be similar to the drift trike video I filmed not so long ago. You can also check that out on my channel. If you want, you can also follow me on Instagram. I post content between videos that you usually would not be able to see until now, but you can, so you can follow me on Instagram at KB_KingBuilds. I'll put it up on the screen at the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.